It's 20 minutes past 7. Now, this is a very strange story. How would you like the chance to be frozen when you die, in the hope that scientists will eventually be able to bring you back to life?
We're not joking. If you enter a competition being run by the New Scientist magazine, you'll have the choice of a holiday in Hawaii while you're alive, or being what's called cryogenically frozen. In a moment, we'll be hearing from someone who wants to be frozen, but first, Samantha Simmons explains what the process of cryonics actually involves.
Cryonics, made famous by Hollywood films like Vanilla Sky, has been around since the 60s. The process involves freezing a dead person, usually in liquid nitrogen. The aim is to stop the vital organs decomposing in the hope that scientists will one day be able to cure whatever disease you died from and then bring you back to life. But of course, it's all still just science fiction. Despite this, several thousand people, mainly in America, have been cryogenically frozen. American baseball legend Ted Williams was frozen after his death in July, but his fate is now at the centre of a family legal battle. The price for immortality, well, it'll cost you around £18,000. Samantha Simmons, BBC News.
So there you go. Well, joining us is Michael Bond from New Scientist magazine and Chrissy de Rivas, who's already decided that she wants to be cryogenically frozen when she dies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to come to you in a minute, Chrissy, because why you want to do this, I don't know. But anyway, first of all, though, why is she being offered the chance?
Well, it's a competition. We wanted something that was, wanted a prize that was going to demonstrate how science and advances in science can force people to really question the fundamental reasons about life and how they see themselves in life. And the point about this is the science is fairly inexact, and we're quite open about this. But we want people to make their own minds up. And the really interesting thing, I think, for us is not the fact that the science is inexact, which is well known, but that if the science was 100% and you chose to do it, well, what would happen when you eventually woke up? And that's when the really interesting thing.
Well, of course, that's what we want to know. But fundamentally, before we get to that, you go on about the science, but isn't it really just a marketing gimmick?
Well, it is the reason that we're running it is to draw attention to the magazine, but it is a serious point. I mean, the line that we have, live today or live in the future and
or
forever.
Go to Hawaii.
Or go to Hawaii.
Whichever prize you want.
I mean, it raises a serious point because I think you'd be surprised, despite the fact that the science, it's only a very small percentage chance that this will work, in our opinion. But I think we'll get a lot of people who would choose that over the holiday in Hawaii.
So there you go, Chrissy. Very small chance. Why do you want to do it?
I think it's an awful lot better than being dead permanently. Now, if I'm planted in the ground to rot, if I'm sent up the flue, there is absolutely no chance of anything coming back. If I'm frozen, there is just a very small chance that I might be able to come back.
But you don't know how you what you come back as, or how you be.
If somebody's got the technology to bring me back, then they're sure as hell going to have the technology to repair all the damage of my aged body. I want to come back with a nice new, well-working body.
But don't you worry that about whoever's around in the 22nd, 23rd, 24th century, or whenever they get round to unfreezing, you couldn't be bothered to do it or wouldn't have the money to do it?
I think they will. There are so many people that are terribly interested in archaeology. I mean, look how excited people get digging remains up and so on. Just think they might unfreeze the remains of someone that can tell them all about the 20th, 21st century. I think it's a great opportunity, and I think New Scientists are just brilliant in following it through.
But as you say, it's a very unexact science, isn't it?
It is, but I mean, I think Chrissy and I would probably agree about how inexact the science is. Where we disagree, I think, certainly, I think I disagree with Chrissy's idea of how people see themselves, and if you transplant yourself into another era, I think it could probably feel very different. I mean, you may even have your same human nature, your innate nature.
So
but
a form of time travel in a way.
Yes, but yes, that's right. But I don't think it would work in the way people think it would work, because we're defined by the people we know, relations, friends, environment we grew up in and were nurtured in, and all that would change. So I think it would. I mean, you can imagine if this technology existed now and people were unfreezing bodies that had been frozen in the 1800s. I mean, it would be like waking up in a different world.
But also, that kind of thing, isn't it?
And you also imagine how you could be treated, and sort of hundreds of years from now, you'd be almost like a sort of zoo exhibit, wouldn't you?
Yes, well, yes, and you'd find yourself living in the same world as your great-great-great-grandchildren, and you know they'd probably find you a little odd.
Just really quickly, how much does it cost to freeze yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the prize.
Oh, the prize is free, so this.
No, but how much would it cost?
$28,000.
Would you go ahead with it if you didn't win the prize?
$28,000. Well, think about it. Yes, it sounds like an enormous amount of money, but if you take out a life insurance policy, which most people do, you're probably looking at what, a packet of cigarettes a week, a couple of pints of lager a week, whatever. It's much healthier.
So you're
isn't it?
definitely doing this?
Oh yes.
You put your money
I'm
down?
Signed up.
Whatever
well,
happens.
my money won't be paid until I'm dead.
So, a couple of pints of lager all being put in a big fridge. I think I'll go for the lager.
Well, no, it's not a fridge. It's liquid nitrogen, which doesn't involve any fridges or anything like that.
Thank goodness.
I stand corrected.
Well, Chrissy.
I look back at this video one day.
Yes, you will be looking back at us in 300 years' time.
With a big grin.
With a big grin and saying, I told them. Thank you very much.
Michael, thank you very much indeed.